fourth attempt to make this video. Machine malfunctioned twice, and then I get it interrupted. I swear when I try to make these videos, man, the devil just is constantly just trying to just butt in. I don't know why, but anyway, are the Great Lakes Indians did they meet the ancient biblical Hebrews, the Old Testament Hebrews, Genesis, Exodus, Genesis time frame? All right, here's the first thing. Okay, this is a weak connection. When Adam and Eve sinned, the first thing God taught them how to do was make clothing out of animal skins. And the Ojibwe were very adept at making animal skins clothing. So there's a very weak connection, but it's a possibility, right? Number two. The Indians, according to our oral history, we came from a flood, a great flood. And it was because man did some great sin that God decided to wipe out everyone. But an interceding spirit pleaded on man's behalf not to be destroyed, but God to give us another chance, but yet instruct us in righteousness. So this jives to some extent with the biblical account, right? So it's 2 points. Third point, Enoch, the book of Enoch. Enoch called God the Lord of Spirits. Okay, and our term for God, the one God, the creator of all, his name was the Great Spirit. I mean, there's a Disney movie called Brother Bear where they put an S on the end of Great Spirit and said Great Spirits, because they're theosophists, Satanists, trying to hijack our historical accounts and our spiritualism, and trying to pervert it and corrupt it. But anyway, so there's another weird similarity, and then floods, you know what I'm saying? And then it's good something to take into consideration there. Alright, then the Indians always, if they wanted to petition to God, they would have to give sacrifice. And we had these special priests or medicine men that would keep themselves separate from everyone else, and they kept themselves pure. While everyone else lived a normal life, the medicine men conducted themselves almost like the Levitical priesthood. You used to intercede for the tribes and to petition to God for either for forgiveness or whatnot. It was like we had a priest class that was that kept himself pure like the Levites. So there's a possible connection there. The blood for blood Mosaic law customs. Alright, it says that murder defileth the land. The only way to undefileth the land is the blood of the murder must be spilt likewise manner that he spilt the blood of the innocent. That's the blood for blood Mosaic law. The Indians definitely operated off of this principle. So that's another possible connection. Alright, the taking of trophies from the dead. I mean, I know that's a very grotesque custom, but King David, he was instructed he had to get 100 foreskins of the Philistines, and then he brought back 200. So, alright, there's something King David did that, that was similar to what the Indians did, but they were called savage. Also, there's this custom in the Indian tribes where it's called counting coup. It's when you get close enough to an enemy in battle that you can touch him, but yet you let him live and you walk away. You get 2 eagle feathers for this, but you get 1 eagle feather for killing an enemy in battle. So you get more renown for touching and letting him live than not. King David did the same thing. He counted coup with Saul. He crept up on him in the cave, cut off a piece of his garment, and gave it back to him and said, "Look, dude, if I wished you any ill will, I would have killed you. So are you going to stop hunting me now?" Okay? There's another possible connection. Um, Here's another connection. King David, he made instrument and music and danced naked, and God said this was pleasing. The Indians used to sing songs and dance and make music to God. This was our way that we conducted church, basically. You know what I'm saying? And people always try to associate this with some kind of voodoo practice, when King David did something similar. All right. Here's another, similarity. All okay. When it comes to Great Lakes Indians, all right, we were not related to the Iroquois or the Lakota. We were a patriarchal society. That means the man is the head of the household, even though women were more equal than most cultures, but they weren't above. It was more or less, our women were just really stubborn, but they still, they had to do a lot. So did the man. So they just had that understanding. It's crazy, but anyway, back to the Lakota and the Sioux. I mean, basically, all of the other tribes that were here, we called the names of snakes. So Geronimo hated snakes, hated lizards. This means we were not related to the Peruvians and the Mayans who worship Quetzalcoatl. You know what I'm saying? Or we would have revered the snake instead of had an aversion to the snake. All right. Let me think of another one here. Okay. Indians had an understanding of spirits, of angels, of giants. This is more biblical crossovers. You know what I'm saying? Then you have the guy who wrote the history of Ojibwe people. He was half French and half Ojibwa, so he could speak Ojibwa better than Ojibwas, and he could speak even the other dialects around us. So he could speak the language better than everyone else. So he translated the Bible to the elders around this lodge fire, and when he told them these stories from the Bible, all the elders said, "For surely this must be true, for we have heard these stories from the beginning." And then, at the time, the Indians were very suspicious of outsiders, and they didn't like to discuss things that they revered, that they held close to heart and spirit. So when this guy revealed this to him, then they started to break down and tell him the whole history. And it is written in this book, History of the Ojibwe People. And he even pleads the case in the book that it's possible that at some point in time that if we didn't come from, we at least met the Hebrews and adopted some of their customs in antiquity. And then I've even seen these genetic studies where they say there's the highest the highest concentration of this particular gene that goes back to the Middle East is in this Great Lakes Indian population. I'm only speaking of my own people. I'm not speaking for... We're not all related like a lot of people think. It's a lot more diverse over here in America than people realize. But basically, for sure, we're related to Asiatic tribes, but they say that we're 1/5 related to this stock that comes straight out of the Old Testament Middle East. So I mean, I don't know if that's just deception, truth, or what, because I mean, these geneticists, they're so eugenics, I'm not sure what I can trust from these people. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll take it into consideration at the moment. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, I keep trying to make this video. I've done it perfect a few times, and then it keeps erasing on me. So hope this one goes through.